card is a fun fold card, and it's got a whole bunch of pieces. So one of the things you're going to need is your designer series paper. And this piece is 3 7/8 by 7/8. And then this other piece is 3 7/8 by 3 1/8. Okay, so you're going to need to cut both of those. We're going to take this larger terracotta layer, and you're going to need to score that at 5 1/2. Fold on your score line. Oh, I see I got mine a little crooked here. If you do that, just force it into place and then make sure you burnish that edge good and your card will be straight. Now we've got all these pieces. We're going to take our designer series paper and add it to the early espresso. This is going to give us a very thin little margin that just makes this designer paper pop with that dark early espresso behind there. And we're going to add this to the flap on the front. We've got the same thing going on with the smaller piece. I'm going to add the early espresso to the terracotta tile. I'm really liking, oh, this is cut wrong. Hang on, let me see what I did wrong here. So I've got this figured out now. I had these all cut wrong. This is 3/4 by 3 7/8. We're going to adhere that to a 4 by 1 inch early espresso. And then all of those are getting put on a 1 1/8 by 4 1/4 inch piece of terracotta tile. Holy cow. And I know I moved my video ahead so you guys didn't have to wait for me to go through and figure that out. But I cut one of them wrong and then I was totally confused. Does that ever happen to you? Like it just threw off my whole train of thought. There we go. And then this goes on here. And you notice that that terracotta tile has a wider margin than, and so does this piece right here. So this is going to look great together. Now, what we're going to do here, I'm going to lay this in here for a dry fit. So I'm just going to put a little bit of snail adhesive in here just to hold it in place. I don't want it moving. And what we're going to do is we're going to take and stamp the Season of Thanks. And that Season of Thanks is going to fit right in this window. So that's why we're doing this little dry fit here. Use early espresso ink. Stand up so you can be over top of your stamp to see what's going on. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now that we've done that, I'm going to just lift these edges up. You could also use a pencil and draw lines. That would work fine, but make sure that you've got a good eraser and you draw lightly so that when you go to erase, you don't leave any erase marks. You could like draw a line here and then draw a line here so you know where to stamp. But I think that was just easy enough. Now, you'll find both of these in your pre-cut cardstock pack. And if you don't have that, this oval is 2 3/4 long, and then the scallop size that goes under it for layering. Early espresso and terracotta tile. We're going to adhere both of those together. And then we're going to use dimensionals again. Whoops. And this is going to hold this bottom piece in place. And this is like a peekaboo or peek through window card. So we're going to add this, and you want to make sure that you're getting your dimensionals in the right place here because this is what's going to hold our card together. And it's going to go just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this all in place while I just want to make sure this is even. It is. And we're going to add this right here. And isn't this cool? Yeah, pretty neat, right? Okay, we have a little bit more stamping to do. I've got pieces flying all over the place here. We're going to take our terracotta tile and we're going to stamp up the little pumpkins and the big pumpkins. One pumpkin, I should say. And then I'm going to die cut both of these. And this is terracotta tile. That you'll find this in your scraps. And here we go. So we've got both of those, and I thought it'd be fun to add some Wink of Stella to the pumpkins. So I'm just going to give them a little bit of bling here. And that's going to make them glimmer and look really festive. Can you see that? I hope you can see that in the camera because it's really pretty. And then we've got a piece of old olive, and I'm going to die cut several of these leaves on the old olive, and I'll be right back. Here's our leaves, and I did spritz those with water. I forgot to tell you that. I spritzed these with water and then ran them through, and you can see that it looks like there's ink inside the indentations. I think that's really, really fun. Now we're just going to assemble everything. So I've got the two bigger 3-pronged leaves that are going to go right here. So I'm just going to add some glue. Put this one right here. Make sure they're not going past the edges of your card because you do need to put this in an envelope. You always want to be mindful of that. And then we've got this one. And again, I don't want that going past the edge of my card. And then we've got this one. I'm just going to stick this right down in here. Maybe overlap that a little bit. And then our pumpkins are also going to go on dimensionals, the double pumpkins. This little one. This one I'm just going to glue in place. And I'm going to add a little bit more glue than I would normally use so that I can set that right in there. Make sure that it's going to stick good. And then this little pumpkin is going to come right down here and overlap just a little bit. I think I want to move this. Yep, I do. See, I can pull that right up because I used the glue. I'm going to just tuck that right down in there. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking for. Okay, look at that. Isn't that neat? Beautiful card. And we're ready for the next one.